Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Fatheree with a Tex-Trek Officer's vlog. Just wanted to do a quick update with everyone after the Wondercon convention over the weekend, where there was actually quite a bit of Star Trek news, and also the most popular item to come out of Wondercon as far as Trek is concerned, the deleted scene from the Star Trek Discovery Season 1 finale. And we'll be getting into all of that right now. But before we get into talking about the deleted scene, let's just recap what we learned about Season 2 at WonderCon. We know that Season 2 is going to start production in April, so coming up in about a month. We know that the season will consist of 13 episodes. As some of you might recall, Season 1 was initially planned to be a 13-episode season. Then CBS decided to extend the order to 15 episodes. There is currently no word on a Season 2 premiere date. The showrunners confessed that CBS has not yet made the determination when they want Discovery Season 2 to premiere. Personally, I still think that early 2019 is the most likely scenario. Even though it's possible the show might be ready to go in the fall, they have also said that Jordan Peele's new Twilight Zone show is likely to debut on CBS All Access in the fall of this year. So I'm thinking that CBS will want to wait until after Twilight Zone has wrapped its season before they drop Season 2 of Discovery. I would guess January or maybe February 2019. We learned that Season 2 will include more details on Saru. We learned that the Klingons will be showing up again at some point in the season. And the show will supposedly take on a more diplomatic or exploratory tone. This sounds like it might be what some people consider to be more traditional Star Trek, and Discovery might have been lacking in Season 1. There are also hints at seeing original series style uniforms or cage style uniforms now that we know that the Enterprise will be in Season 2. And there were also hints at a female same-sex couple on Star Trek Discovery. It was teased that it might be between characters that are already on the show. I don't think that would be Tilly or Burnham, so my money is on Arium, aka Robot Face, and Owassikan, aka Dreadlock Lady. I would love for something like that to be going on between these characters, because they don't give the bridge crew much to do in the show, at least not in the first season. So if they are going to push some of those characters to the, into the spotlight a little bit in Season 2, I think that'd be really cool. Now, as for that deleted scene that everyone's been talking about, I'm not going to show the entire clip here in this YouTube video. However, when that news broke Saturday, I was very quick to get that posted to the Tex-Trek Twitter and also to the Tex-Trek Facebook. So if you're not following us on Twitter or through our Facebook page, please do so you don't miss anything like that going forward in the future. But spoilers possibly for Season 2, even though the showrunners showed this to the entire public, so it's definitely intended to be seen by everyone. It is a deleted scene, so who knows how they're going to use this going forward. But just friendly spoiler warning, the clip is set on Kronos in the Orion strip joint / brothel. Emperor Georgiou is still hanging out in there, and she is approached by a human disguised as a Trill. He offers her a box with a black badge in it, and tells her, "Welcome to Section 31. So major implications here. This basically confirms that the black badge we saw way back in Episode 3 of Star Trek Discovery belonged to a Section 31 member. And this is likely something that they're going to be following up on in Season 2. If the plan was to drop Section 31 and drop the black badges, if that's why the scene was deleted, then I don't think they would be showing this to us now. I think it would be awesome for Star Trek Discovery to use Section 31. That would definitely be a fun thing to see them play with. At the same time, This kind of bothers me because I think it's really stupid for Section 31 to have their own little black badge that they wear in broad daylight, pretty much announcing to everyone that they're different from typical Starfleet. For anyone who doesn't know, Section 31 was created on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. They showed up in Star Trek Enterprise and in Star Trek Into Darkness. They're basically like the Federation version of the Tal Shiar that the Romulans have, or the Obsidian Order that the Cardassians have. They're a totally secret organization. Unlike those other groups, nobody knows that these people even exist. The public doesn't know about them. People in Starfleet don't know about them. Nobody knows except for members, and occasionally a main character on a show might cross paths with them or something. But it would not really make a lot of sense for them to have their own special badge that they wear. That being said, I would love to see what Discovery does with them. After all, we know that Section 31 is around and active in this time period that Star Trek Discovery is set in. And even if I don't love the answer to the question, what are the black badges, I'm glad that there's finally an answer, because that kind of irked me that they introduced that concept in Episode 3 as a mystery and then never touched on it again the rest of the series. Now, shifting gears a little bit, we're going to talk about Star Trek comics. IDW was present at WonderCon, and we learned a lot about Star Trek comics coming out in 2018. For starters, we got more details on the sequel series to last year's excellent comic Star Trek TNG Mirror Broken. The sequel is coming out in May as a weekly series, and it's going to be called Star Trek The Next Generation Through the Mirror. And it will show Picard and the Enterprise D face off against the Mirror Universe Picard and Mirror Universe Enterprise D we were introduced to back in Mirror Broken last year. We now know that the first issue of this weekly series is going to be very Worf-centric. I think that's a really good idea because Worf is the only one of the TNG main characters that doesn't have a doppelganger on that Mirror Universe Enterprise, and he was actually absent altogether from Mirror Broken. There were also some new Star Trek comic series announcements. We now know that Star Trek The Next Generation Terra Incognita will be coming out sometime after Through the Mirror. It's going to be by Scott and David Tipton, with art by Tony Chastain, and J.K. Woodward and Elizabeth Beals will be providing some variant covers. It's going to be 6 issues. Each issue is going to be like a standalone episode, kind of keeping in the same format as the Next Generation show. Each issue will be focusing on a different character. And David Tipton did tease that there might be a Mirror Universe interloper left over from Star Trek The Next Generation Through the Mirror, who has infiltrated the Enterprise and is hanging around on the ship. But if you don't want to know who it is, don't look at the covers they revealed for issue 1 of Terra Incognita, because they make it really obvious. Moving away from TNG comics, we have some Disco comics to talk about. The previously announced Star Trek Discovery Annual that promises to reveal Lieutenant Stamets and Dr. Culber's meet cute is being pushed from March until April 4th. The 40-page single issue will be $7.99. That's kind of a steep price if you ask me, but it might be worth checking out. And also in Star Trek Discovery comic news, we have another new miniseries coming out, Star Trek Discovery Succession. It is currently set to start in April, and it's going to be yet another Mirror Universe comic. It will focus on Emperor Georgiou in the Mirror Universe and Gabriel Lorca in the Mirror Universe. If you look at the cover and the variant cover for the first issue, it looks like there's also going to be some Michael Burnham of the Mirror Universe involved. It pretty much sounds like it's going to have to be a prequel to the Mirror Universe episodes of Star Trek Discovery we saw earlier this year, but I'm looking forward to this. And I just love how much love and attention the Mirror Universe is getting this year. It's kind of crazy. I really dig it. Star Trek Discovery Succession will be written by Mike Johnson and Kirsten Beyer. It will feature art by Angel Hernandez. And the last topic I got for y'all is in regards to Star Trek Boldly Go and the Star Trek Kelvin timeline comics in general. We've known for some time now that Boldly Go number 18 will be the last of that series, and Boldly Go writer Mike Johnson stated at Wondercon that there are currently no plans for a new Kelvin timeline comic. He went on record saying, "We are putting the pause button on the Kelvinverse until we get a better sense of where the movies are going to go." So it sounds like there won't be any additional Kelvin timeline comics anytime soon. That actually does make sense to me. Those comics have always kind of been restricted based on whatever was going on with the movies or things they are saving for the movies. So until we get what the final word is on the 4th Kelvin timeline movie, or it becomes definitive that it's not going to happen, don't expect to see Kelvin timeline comics. But hey, that gives Mike Johnson more time for the Star Trek Discovery comics that he's going to be writing. To be honest, I'm going to be more interested in what's going on with Discovery stuff than Kelvin stuff right now, so I'm all for making room for more Star Trek Discovery comics. But that's all Tex-Trek has to report on WonderCon. Just a few channel updates. We are going to finally be getting our Desperate Hours podcast out soon. And keeping in what seems to be trendy in 2018, we're taking a deep dive look into the Mirror Universe. Dave and I are going to be talking about all the Mirror Universe episodes that existed before Discovery, and just talking about how those episodes come off now from what we've seen on Star Trek Discovery and that little depiction of the Mirror Universe. So it kind of does put everything else in a different perspective. And that will include quite a bit of Deep Space Nine talk, and that's also going to be topical this year, because this is the 25th anniversary of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so we'll be celebrating that as well. Definitely make sure you're subscribed if you want to check those out. Please like this video, and until next time, live long and prosper, y'all.